نكمل بالهتاف بما انكم محمسين لنوصل صوتنا. بس احنا هلا وصلنا على محكمة الشعب، فنقول بعد بصوت عالي شو بدنا؟ بدنا حق الجنسية! بدنا حق الجنسية! للمرأة اللبنانية! للمرأة اللبنانية!
Arab Women's Right to Nationality Campaign is a regional campaign. It started in 2001-2002 when some of us, we are all activists on issues related to women's rights and equality in the MENA region, in the Middle East, North Africa region. And during one of our network meetings, we looked at the most pressing, compelling problems that women face, both legally and in their daily lives. And it was obvious to all of us, that, not just obvious, it was bizarre actually, that all Arab countries share similar forms of discrimination against women. In other words, back then, 2001-2002, all Arab countries had nationality laws which specifically said that men can transmit their nationalities but not women, which meant for us that most Arab states do not consider women as being full citizens with rights and entitlements. There was no reason, no justification whatsoever why men are more of citizens than women. After all, women citizens pay equal taxes as men. And therefore this is how the campaign was launched, on the basis of these testimonials, on the basis of this empirical evidence, etc.
My name is Ali Zaidan, and I'm married to an Egyptian. My husband is an Egyptian. His name is Ali Moussouli. We have a travel agency here in Lebanon, and he's an Egyptian lawyer. He cannot work with his Egyptian license here in Lebanon, so we have opened this business from 3 years. We can be a judge, we can be a lawyer, we can be a minister, and we cannot give our nationality to our husband and to our family. Why? Why should I leave my country?
عندك شغلك وعندك مصالحك وعندك حياتك هون بدك تخلصها، مش شكل دبوس قوم فلنا يعني. واقرب الحقوق هاي ان هم يسهلوا لها اقامه جوزها واقامه ولادها في البلد اللي هم فيها، مش يجبروها على انه يفل. قدامك مهله 9 ايام تتفل. شو قدامك مهله 9 ايام تتفل؟
As we went deeper into the lives of these women and their families, we found that actually it was basically, for many of them, unless they were incredibly well-to-do, their lives were wrecked. They were wrecked by the fact that they didn't have access to basic social entitlements, but they were also wrecked by racism, by not being able to be recognized as a citizen equal to others, etc.
أو حقوق الإنسان بمعنى أصح. الإنسان إنسان في أي مكان.
My name is Amanda Dufour. I'm 18 years old, so I just graduated from high school. I was at the American Community School here at Beirut. The biggest problem for me was with my dancing career, my dancing life. Every time there was an international event or a competition, I couldn't be a part of it. Everyone else in my team could, as they were able to represent Lebanon, but I had to pull out and instead just sit by and watch them. We represented Lebanon for dance, and one of these dances is the one that won us the place. And then, well, I got to audition for it, but when time came around, I wasn't able to perform with them. This other girl replaced me. It's a bit embarrassing. Every time I'm asked for ID, I have to pull out my residency card and explain why I'm not Lebanese and why I can't actually say I am. So it's just more emotional and psychological than physical problems.
The big problem for me is the education of my children and the work. My husband he is a founder for a very important trade company, and he was working very hard to establish it, but nothing. He cannot own this trade company because he is Palestinian. Now, if something maybe if he died, okay, nothing for us, nothing for my children. I don't know.
The issue of giving nationality to Palestinian men that are married to Lebanese women is one of the unstated issues that are hindering the rights of women to grant nationality to her children. Giving nationality to a large number of Palestinians, which is naturalization of Palestinians, is technically unconstitutional.
I think it's unfortunate that after 60 years we have yet to accept a group of people who have come to live here. Although we pride ourselves with our legendary, so-called legendary hospitality, nevertheless we continue to exclude specific groups of people, old and new refugees. I don't think the fate of Iraqi refugees is any better.
I'm teaching at Lebanese University at Hadas in the Faculty of Business.
My name is Thierry Levy. I'm teaching at Holy Spirit University of Catholic. The problem begins when he will be 18, because when he will be 18, they won't give him this residence permit automatically, and he will not have access to work in the administration in Lebanon. He will not have access to work as an advocate, things like that. So many jobs will be forbidden for him if he stays in Lebanon.
C'est sûr que je suis en colère et j'ai envie je sais pas, de crier à haute voix et d'être entendue pour dire que je suis citoyenne. Avant d'être femme, je suis citoyenne.
What was more or less unexpected, and it was quite an important finding for us, was that no matter where these women came from, no matter what was their educational backgrounds, no matter what their demographic profile was, no matter what their country was, many of them said something very interesting, and that is that they only found out that they couldn't transmit their nationality to their spouses and their children when they had their first child. Which was a very interesting finding, because it meant that it had never occurred to anybody that you wouldn't have this right, that you wouldn't have the right to transmit your nationality.
Que moi je vis ici avec ma famille, avec mon fils, je lui transmets les valeurs de cette société et il n'a aucun droit, il n'a qu'une carte de séjour de courtoisie. Et c'est quoi la courtoisie? C'est vraiment une humiliation pour la femme de lui accorder une carte de séjour. La constitution libanaise me reconnaît un statut égal à celui de l'homme, et donc je me demande pourquoi ceux qui sont pourquoi les politiciens ne sont pas en train de pratiquer ces lois et d'appliquer la constitution.
Any issue in Lebanon is necessarily highly politicized, because you're talking about managing public matters. And it's all the more complicated because it relates to nationality. And citizenship, Lebanese citizenship, probably one of the most complex in the world. Not only because of the Palestinian or no settlement of Palestinian issue, but because we are a tiny country with too many people and because of the balance of Christians and Muslims. I think that any new law, any new approach needs to take into consideration all these concerns. And I believe that if we sit down and just talk about the problems, about the necessary solutions, we can find an approach that could both provide solutions for all Lebanese women and take care of that concern of Lebanese granting citizenship to Palestinians.
Donc là, il y a une grande question. Pourquoi c'est seulement lorsque c'est la femme libanaise qui se marie à un étranger, et spécifiquement à un Palestinien, ça crée un problème démographique et communautaire. Donc arrêtons.
One of the most difficult countries is Lebanon, of course. Lebanon has been resistant to changing that law, despite all the evidence presented, despite all the appearances of the government. We think that the Lebanese state is not serious in respecting and upholding citizens' rights, particularly in terms of women's rights. And we continue to work in Lebanon. This is a campaign that has international support, that has regional support. We will continue with this campaign in Lebanon until they reform the law so that it gives equal right to women and men.